Hello and welcome everyone. This is Engineer Amanullah, your course instructor for project planning and controlling using Primavera P6. In today's topic, we will discuss about filters, activity codes, grouping and sorting. So first let's come to filter. Filter is a very important tool in Primavera because sometimes you face with very large projects in which the activities you want to edit or update, uh, finding that activity is not easy. So like now I am working on a schedule in which number of activities are more than 6,000. So to find those activities or those WBSs which I want to update, I use filters rather than scrolling up and down for minutes. I just use a filter and I can find my activities. So we can filter our activities in many ways. Like we can filter by WBS, by activity name, by start date, by finish date, and by resources, by activity codes. So many filters we can apply to our schedule that best suits us. So after filter, there is activity code. We can assign activity code to our activities. Before that, we have to define activity codes. It's also a kind of filtering your schedule, because later on you can filter your schedule according to these activity codes. And there is a group and sort option. Group and sort option is how you want to see your schedule or the layout of the schedule. It may be WBS wise, activity wise, or activity code wise. We will also see this option. Now let's come to our P6 schedule, which is here. First we will define activity code, and then we will come to filter. To define activity code, see here I have already defined some of activity codes. Some of activity codes are built in our P6 software. So, and also I have assigned some of the activity codes to my activities, like to design activities. I have assigned engineering activity code, and to construction activities I have assigned construction activity code. Now these are my commissioning activities. Now let's define an activity code commissioning and assign that activity code to the commissioning activities. So to define activity codes, we have to go to enterprise, then from enterprise to activity codes. These are my activity codes. There are different activity codes like department wise, enterprise milestone, go no go, item, key milestone, phase. You should see and practice all these. I will go to department. In department, engineering department, construction department, purchasing department, I want to add another department which is commissioning. There is already a commissioning department. I will delete it, and now I will add commissioning. Commissioning, and now I will add, assign this commissioning activity code to commissioning activities. To do this, right click here, assign activity codes. From here go to department, and in department commissioning just highlight this one activity or two activity, both activities at a time, and you can double click on this commissioning or just click on this one. If this cross is red, it means you have added this one. So we have assigned commissioning to our commissioning activities. Now let's filter our project. We have already discussed some of the filters like critical path and milestone activities. If I want to see my critical path critical path, by the way, is really important in schedule. You have to pay close attention to the critical path, because if activities on critical path get delayed, then your project will be delayed and you may face penalties. This is non-critical. Where is my critical? This one is critical filter. These filter are built in. All activities, critical activities. So these are critical activities, and you can identify critical activities from here. The bars which are red, see here, bars which are red are critical. So these are critical activities. If I want to filter it by milestone, first all activities, then by milestone. These are my milestone. I will just hide this one. Bar chart options, uh, do not show me legends. Okay, these are my milestone. Now if I want a filter which is not defined here, I can define my own filter. Click this new, and let's say I want to filter it by WBS, where WBS, I will name it my filter, where WBS name is equal to or contain execution substructure. It will show me only activities in substructure. I will apply this one. So all other activities are hidden, only substructure activities are shown. Now if I want to filter it by I will delete other filters. Wait a minute, confused. Here is my filter. I want to filter my activities by activity name. By activity ID you can filter it, and by activity name you can filter it. I want to see those activities which have the word marking. Apply, it will show me only those activities which have the word marking. Now I want to filter it by activity code. So I will modify this filter again. this filter, modify, where the activity code, see activity code here. So now here, which activity code I have assigned? I have assigned department. So in filter, I will check department, modify this filter, check department. Department is here. In department, I want to see only construction activities. Only construction activities. Okay, apply. So it hides all other activities and show only construction activity. Now if I want to see only for example procurement activities, purchasing, okay, apply, it show me only procurement activities. This way you can filter your activities by activity code. There are many other filters you can assign to your schedule. Some of it are see here completed activities. If you have already completed some of the activities and you want to see those activities, you can apply this filter, has finished constraint, has start constraint. If some of your activities have has constraint, you can uh, apply these filters. There are many other filters. Now if I want to see filter my activities by date, let's say I want activities only which are finishing in May. So I will filter my activities which are I will apply two filter here. One is, do I want to see those activities which are finishing after or on 1st of May, and those activities which are finishing on or before 31st of May. Let's see. First I will apply finish filter, finish less than or equal to, I will put custom date 31st of May. It should be before or on 31st of May, and I will apply a start filter. Start filter, start filter. I want to see those activities which are uh, greater than or equal 1st of my custom date. Okay, apply this. See, all these activities have finished dates in May. This one have finished date in May, and this one have finished date. In fact, I have applied filter which are starting and finishing in May. It is showing me those activities which are starting and finishing in May. Let's say modify our filter, make it also finish. So it will add activities starting before May, but it must finish in May. See, this activity is starting on 5th of March, but it is finishing in May. So it is showing me all those activities which are starting, which are finishing in May, regardless when they are started. So these are different filters. Now we will come to group and sort. This is group and sort. from here we can group and sort, or we can just right click here, group and sort. Now this schedule, as you can see, is grouped by WBS and in hierarchical method. I want to group it by WBS name. Let's say, so it is now grouped by WBS name and in alphabetical order, like D, then after the DH, then after H, M, and P, and C, S. So you can apply different group and sort option also. So this was our topic today. Today we discussed filter, activity codes, group and sort, and how to define a new filter and how to assign this activity code, how to define activity codes and how to assign activity codes to our activities, and then how to filter our activities by these activity codes.